Showtime!
Ladies and gentlemen, please make your way to your seats.
Showtime!
Please make your way to your seats. The show is about to begin.
Showtime!
Let the magic begin.
So next one, we've got an update on one of your favorite topics, hydrogen and room temperature storage. What's happening here?
Yeah, finally. So we talked about this before, but so there's this California startup called H2MOF. And what they've developed is an innovative technology to store hydrogen at room temperature without requiring high pressure or really, really cold temperatures or cryogenic cooling. So this company was founded by two scientists, including a Nobel laureate, and they're using AI and computer models to accelerate research on compressing hydrogen into a small volume for compact storage. So effective hydrogen storage is, you and I both have talked about this. It's one of the major challenges for enabling wider use of hydrogen as a green fuel. And US and other countries, even Canada. There was a webinar that I attended last week, 2 weeks ago, on hydrogen. They're investing billions into hydrogen R&D to support expanding capacity. But H2MOF, what they're aiming to do is launching a hydrogen storage technology in the next couple of years, which could be a game changer for transportation and industrial hydrogen applications. So the thing is the current main methods for storing hydrogen is either as a compressed gas or liquid. And so there's challenges and inefficiencies with these approaches. So H2MOF is using a metal organic framework, or MOF, which are porous structures that can absorb and store hydrogen at room temperature and pressure. So if successful, it could enable hydrogen fuel cell vehicles with longer ranges. Because right now, and we talked about this before, but for those of you that missed it, there are hydrogen cars out there. The cost right now to fill up a hydrogen car costs about $200 to $300, and it's closer to $200. But and you would think that for that amount of money, you'd get a ridiculous range, like with diesel cars, where you get more bang for your buck. But no, the range for hydrogen vehicles is around 300 miles right now. So that's why this is a potentially huge a huge advancement when it comes to the adoption of hydrogen, because we do want to replace fossil fuels. We do. Fossil fuels pollute the air. They cost the environmental impacts, everything. There's so many bad things about it, where hydrogen has quite a low environmental impact. Yeah, really cool, really interesting tech. Yeah.
So I have on the screen here, I just Googled hydrogen powered cars, and in Canada, we got the Toyota, and these are, you find your closest hydrogen fueling stations, but this is British Columbia and Quebec. I don't know how much there is in Ontario. So you can see there's not a lot.
No, there isn't. No.
So it's just to be concerned of, but there are out there.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
The other thing to take into consideration, and this is a step backward, but a lot of the big oil companies removed a lot of the hydrogen fueling pumps that they had, I think, in the US.
Yeah, they're like, look at here. Our tanks are designed not to leak. Our multi-patented carbon fiber wrap polymer lined hydrogen tanks are designed in a 3-layer structure to absorb 5 times the crash energy of steel, because, if that busts open, you're dead.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's a big boom. Think about it's not H-bomb style, but yeah, we're talking like H-bomb stands for hydrogen bomb. So hydrogen is used in bombs, and yeah, it's much more highly combustible as far as the way that it's stored than gasoline. But that's obviously they've got stronger tanks for that, though.
Yeah, as we're talking, I'm just trying to see what the range is on a per tank, as you were saying, for this particular vehicle. What
is that? Is that the Toyota?
This is, the Toyota.
Yeah, I think they were using the Toyota in an example. And this cost was US, I think. It was $200 and something US for it, and the range was 300 miles. Does it say it anywhere?
As I'm looking for it as we're talking, I'll keep
Yeah.
colors, galaxy. A lot of these, the things you're looking for, they want to hide from you a lot of times.
Yeah, I know. So yeah, let's just talk about this and why it's a big advancement, right?
Of course.
So higher energy store, like if they are able to successfully develop this, you get higher hydrogen storage density. So storing more hydrogen in a smaller, lighter weight package, which is critical for transportation applications. So these new materials and approaches that they're developing aim for densities 2 to 5 times higher than compressed H2 tanks. The other thing, and we kind of just touched on it briefly, is low pressure storage. So this new method allows hydrogen storage near ambient pressures, which improves safety, lowers energy needs for compression. And just to kind of put that into perspective, these tanks often use very high pressures that are over 700 bar. So again, in talking about room temperature storage, ammonia and some solid materials can absorb and store hydrogen at normal temperatures, which is going to help. So that eliminates the extremely cold temps that are usually needed around negative 253 degrees Celsius. So lower energy for storage, improved transportation, cost reduction, all of this stuff is helping to move this forward.
One of the big problems in hydrogen has always been, I don't want to call it leaks because it's not leak, but I'm going to say seepage, that most pipes and whatnot can't, like water condenses on the outside and we lose it. Are they getting better at containing it, which is part of the reason why you need to do it at such a cold temperature?
Yeah, exactly.
So this room storage solution solves that leakage issue?
It must, because not only that, it's lower pressure, right? So lower pressure means lower pressure inside the tank, which means lower pressure pushing outwards.
So does this type of technology get us to hydrogen pipelines?
I'm not sure. I don't know enough about transporting hydrogen using pipelines or the math or the, which is great. Thank you. I'm going to now look it up and read about it. I never even thought about that, but yeah, no, potentially. Yeah. And the thing is, I don't know anything about oil pipelines either. So, I'd have to do a dive into that, but yeah, thank you for that. That's going to help me.
Well, I'm just curious because, we have to have the distribution channels.
Well, no, the thing is though, Craig, is you can create hydrogen through electrolysis.
My point being is, even if it's provincial, even if it's whatever GTA, we need to be able to get these from. Great. Are you going to say in Nunavut, we're bringing trucks of these cylinders in, or we got a pipeline to send it out there? We got our own facility out there processing. Like, we're in Canada, we're a big country. So how do we get this stuff? And and when you're talking about getting it for green hydrogen, which is they're investing a lot of money in Africa with these wind farms and solars to build it and then ship it out. If there is potential for pipeline, they want to do that.
Oh, for sure. Where I think the future of hydrogen lies is it's in two technologies. It's the storage and the creation of it. So I think there's going to be less pipeline delivery and more localized production. That is just me, though. That's what I think. But we have to, and this comes on the heels of our last podcast about the SSH2 steel. The stainless steel to help to create that.
When the cost gets low enough,
we're
gonna, and the solar power gets good enough. I was talking to somebody out there. My vision is that we would all generally have the tiles on a roof that just look like tiles that are solar panels that power stuff, and that we have a hydrogen creator in our home that takes the excess power and does the electrolysis that fills our tanks overnight, kind of thing.
Yeah.
To keep stuff going. 647 kilometer range, zero emission, 182 horsepower for this.
Cool.
Yeah. So
But we did talk about some other engines that actually produce much more horsepower. So
absolutely, we were just talking about this one.
Yeah.
We're we have it on the screen and giving people an idea of what we're talking about. So we want to wrap it up there.
Yeah.
This is very interesting. We're always going to stay on top of the hydrogen situation. So stay tuned for that. What do you have going on?
So next week, I don't know if I'm going to get to it, but Danielle is actually, she's the one who's putting this on. There's something at the DMZ for women. If I can, as I'm talking, I'll bring it up quickly. It is the Women Innovation Summit at the DMZ. They are waitlisting people now, but that's going to be really cool. I'm going to this Centurion 1 Capital 7 annual growth conference on that day as well. On the Friday, there's an International Women's Day with La French Tech. That's in Toronto at the Toronto Region Board of Trade. And I am just for those of you listening who are looking to expand outside of Canada, Can Export has opened as of February 29th, the very last day that they promised that they would open. If you're looking to expand outside of Canada, you want to go to trade shows, you've got at least $100,000 in declared revenue with CRA. You can get up to 50% of your costs covered up to $50,000.
Fantastic. Check out all the stuff we got going on at TorontoStarts.com for everything. It's usually a few days behind, but just because it's only me doing stuff, but most of our stuff gets up there. We do a lot of different shows, blog posts, in-person events. If you're struggling in your business, I help startups and small businesses get unstuck. Go to startupcoach.ca, book a call, and we'll chat about how I could help you. We talked earlier on about Startup Drinks TO, our Startup Drinks event. Our next one is March 27th. It's a CIX after party. So if you're going to CIX, definitely come to our after party. Check out startupdrinksTO.com. The tickets will be up there probably by the time you're seeing this. So Perfect. Thanks, everyone, and we'll talk to you all soon. Have a great weekend.
Take care. Bye, guys.
Wow, that